Governor Soludo State's commitment towards achieving food security. Anambra State government intensified drive against tax evasion. ECOWAS Parliament calls for promotion of child rights. And on the foreign scene, Israeli army kills 3 Palestinian fighters in West Bank. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. The Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good morning and welcome to the news at 7. My name is Chidimma Orangwa. A one-day zonal consultation workshop on the development of implementation strategy for the food system transformation pathways in Southeast has ended with a call for all stakeholders to play their roles in fulfilling the transformation of the food systems in the country. The workshop was powered by the Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning in collaboration with Anambra State Ministry of Budget and Planning. Participants were attracted from the ministries, departments, agencies, and non-governmental organizations. Correspondent Amaka Chibuzokoye tells us more.
Declaring the workshop opened, Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo, who was represented by his Chief of Staff, Mr. Ernest Ezadre, said the program is in tandem with the second pillar of his administration's focus, which has to do with industrialization and economic transformation in ensuring that the state becomes the food basket of the nation. He pointed out that the administration on assumption of office launched coconut and farm seedlings that will mature in 4 years and distributed it to Ndi Anambra to become part of the program. Governor Soludo maintained that the workshop is basically changing the whole systems to achieve healthier, sustainable and equitable food system, thereby ensuring food security and optimal nutrition for all, as well as meet the socio-economic goals of reducing poverty and inequality.
We are trying to implement regenerative agriculture in Anambra State. When you come to the 5 pillars that this government is working on, we are working very hard to make sure that Anambra State will grow up among the states that will be, I think they call it food basket of the nation. That's where we are heading to in Anambra State.
In an address of welcome, the State Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, Mrs. Chiamaka Nnake, said the program focused on strengthening food system across the South region, which main objective of defining and presenting the pathways for transforming their current food systems will also take into consideration to end distortions in food production value chain, which is from production to final consumption.
The main objective for this workshop is to define and present the key pathways for transforming our food system. And understandably, it goes beyond agriculture, part of the value chain that enables the totality of the food system in Nigeria.
For the State Commissioner for Agriculture, Dr. Foster Ihejiofo, the UN Food System Transformation Agenda is an ambitious plan aimed at transforming global food production and consumption system to ensure sustainable food security, improved nutrition and economic development, while also protecting the environment.
The agenda aims to transform the entire food value chain from production to consumption and waste management, ensuring that everyone, especially the vulnerable and marginalized, has access to safe, nutritious and affordable food.
In a keynote address, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Budget and National Planning, Engineer Nebolisa Anako, represented by Mr. Okechukwu Ezekwesili, maintained that it is important that the food transformation agenda calls for concerted effort of everyone, as food security is a critical aspect of life. In his presentation on the objectives of the workshop, the national convener, UN Food Systems, Dr. Sanyo Faniran, said to achieve a food system that is inclusive, efficient, resilient, and sustainable to deliver quality diet and livelihood, stakeholders should play their roles effectively and in collaboration with others. Good messages from FAO, IFAD, and GAIN all geared towards contributing to the food system transformation agenda and productive cooperation. Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, ABS News.
The National President of Police Officers Wife Association, POA, Hajia Hajara Usman Akali Baba, has commissioned Anambra State Officers Wife Skill Acquisition Center donated by Prince Arthur Eze. The center, located at Ubo in Dinikofi Local Government Area, has tailoring section, barbing and manicure section, hairdressing section, reception, restroom, among others, all equipped with modern facilities. We have details from our studio.
I commissioned this mighty building of the Skill Acquisition Center.
Commissioning the project, the Police Officers' Wives Association National President said the project that in the country represents progress and innovation and will help in realizing her three-point agenda in education, health and welfare of members.
Particularly Prince Arthur Eze, who has been the major financier of this project. Today, we witness the birth of the building that not only symbolizes progress and innovations, but also stands as a testament to our collective vision and determination. This structure represents a tangible embodiment of our aspiration, serving as a hub for creativity, collaboration, and power achievement.
On her part, the chairperson of Police Officers' Wives Association in Anambra State and the wife of the State Commissioner of Police, Mrs. Ikemi Echeng, explained that given the mandate by POA National President for a skill acquisition center in their various states to drive her vision to reality, she went out to sell the vision to the well-meaning in the Anambra.
On assumption of office here in Anambra State, I eagerly went all out to sell the vision to all well-meaning Anambrarians. We are truly grateful to God Almighty and to our benefactor, Prince Engineer Dr. Arthur Eze, also the one of Upo.
The benefactor, Prince Arthur Eze, represented by Prince Oke Eze, announced a check of 5 million naira for the smooth running of the center, adding that arrangement has been made for the instructors that will help in training at the center.
Arthur Eze was here, Arthur Eze is here, and Arthur Eze will always be with power. It has sent me to give this message to the president. Apart from this edifice, he is giving power a check of 5 million naira. These funds are to stabilize this edifice, and to stabilize the staff. It will go towards payment of staff salaries and other exigencies.
In his remarks, the Anambra State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Echeng, said the project will enhance empowerment and employment opportunities for the Police Officers' Wives Association members and in the Anambra, and thanked Ukpo community and Prince Arthur Eze for making the project a reality. Present at the event include Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 13 Ukpo, Mr. Tony Olofun, Traditional Ruler of Ukpo, Igwe Robert Eze, Senator representing Anambra South Senatorial District at the National Assembly, Dr. Ifeanyi Uba, who announced 2 million naira donation to the center, Professor Stella Okunna, among others.
The Anambra have been urged to support the massive mandate given to Professor Chukwuma Soludo with payment of tax and other levies. Correspondent Amaka Chibuzo Okoye has details.
Executive Director, Anambra Board of Internal Revenue Service, Dr. Christian Madbuko, made the appeal when he led the members of the enforcement team of the board, joint security personnel, and others to seal off the Graphil Group Technology, Oka, and Falcon Hills Hotel, Isuanocha, for failing to pay their tax to the government. He said the special drive for revenue is not the best, having known that in the Anambra are peace-loving people and frowned at the few who are disobedient. The executive director of the Anambra Internal Revenue Service disclosed that the board obtained a court judgment which enabled it to seal off the firms, saying that businesses will be shut until they do the needful. Dr. Madbuko maintained that their core duty is to generate revenue to the state, pleading with eligible taxpayers to comply in order to help the government continue to serve them better.
Today we embarked on a special drive for revenue in their obligation to pay their tax. And we have gone to court with them, obtained court judgment to seal up their premises. That is what we have done today, and I hope they have no option than to comply.
Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, ABS News.
The Transition Committee Chairman of Orumba North, Honorable Ogochukwu Ekweme, has performed the groundbreaking ceremony of a ward chooser project in Oko Orumba North local government area of Anambra State. The event, which was kick-started by the foundation laying ceremony of the construction of 6 black ultra-modern toilets and supervision of the rehabilitation water supply system at the popular Ekoka market, attracted market union leaders, ward executives and other party faithfuls who came out to witness the occasion. We have details.
It was observed that the former center and the borehole water supply has been left in a dilapidated state, causing untold difficulties to the market residents to easily ease themselves, get access to good water and dispose their waste prior to the prompt intervention of the Honorable Ekweme. Speaking during the ceremony, the Orumba North Transition Committee Chairman, Honorable Ogochukwu Ekweme, thanked the Oko Ward 2 community, the market union executives, and the local government party leaders for their support and contribution. He commended Governor Soludo for giving him the opportunity to serve his people and promised to give every necessary support needed to ensure that the project is brought to its absolute completion.
This is the resources is limited. Railway can expect for it to be maintained. If I am and the local government, my team is just in about we know how we can jointly maintain a park. So that 2, 3, 4 years on the road down.
On his part, the project manager, Engineer Ugochukwu Okafo, while appreciating the Professor Chukwuma Soludo-led administration for choosing Honorable Ogochukwu as the Transition Committee Chairman, promised to execute the project according to the plan and specifications and deliver within the shortest period of time.
Then this line, however, all the 2 sections, now, I am one year and the I got a sort of revenue.
In their separate remarks, the councillor for Oko Ward 2, Honorable Chukwujehu Ezokoye, Oko Women Leader Dr. Edith Obionye, and the chairman of Oko Progressive Union, represented by the Vice Pastor Sunday Oster Anunobi, while expressing their happiness, stated that the council area has experienced drastic positive change since its resumption of office. Appreciating the Transition Committee Vice Chairman of Orumba North, Honorable Henry Mado, thanked the chairman for his love and sacrifice for Oko community and prayed for God's guidance and protection and more success in his political journey. The wife to the former Vice President of Nigeria, Chief Mrs. Ifeoma Ekweme, Chief of Staff to the Chairman Orumba North Council Area, Honorable Peter Nwabuo, and Chairman Eke Oko Park, Saben Ndike, were present at the event.
The need to always engage professionals in building and construction has been stressed. This came to the fore during the inauguration ceremony of Engineer Alex Ifagwazi as the third chairman of the Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers. Kenechi Kuchkodi has detailed.
In his remark, the national chairman of Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers, Engineer Chukwudi Ezugu, decried the bad state of infrastructure in the country, especially in the southeast zone. Represented by the vice chairman, Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers, Engineer Sonye Ali, Engineer Ezugu congratulated the new state chairman of Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers, urging him and his executive to take the body to greater heights in the state. Engineer Ali pointed out that developing infrastructure in the country will help in its socio-economic growth, especially in providing jobs and helping small and medium-scale enterprises.
The ranking of our infrastructure, according to the records of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, and the latest being the 2017 edition, shows that our infrastructure degraded massively to F category.
The keynote speaker, who is also the Vice President, Southeast Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Chinasohu Okoli, represented by Engineer Oji Anozie Oji, emphasized that infrastructural deficit, especially in the Southeast, is seriously affecting economic growth and standard of living, calling on government to invest in critical infrastructure while also partnering with the private sector for development.
Structure and facilities that are necessary for economic development, social well-being, and good quality of life. Modern and efficient infrastructure is the bedrock of every developed and developing nation.
In his speech after his inauguration, the new chairman of Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers, Engineer Ife Agwazi, expressed satisfaction for attaining the position, promising to take the body to enviable height by ensuring that the right thing within the engineering profession is always done.
Forever is our watchword. Since night, Oka chapter is still a baby. As I'm the third chairman, all efforts should be mastered in galvanizing the membership towards harnessing the benefit of civil engineering profession as a discipline from our formative years for the well-being and betterment of us all and the society.
Participants who spoke during the event, including the State Chairman, Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, Engineer Victor Meju, the outgoing Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers Chairman, Engineer David Okeke, Engineer Lawrence Obi, Chief Innocent Ezike, and Mr. John Merimu stressed that the place of engineers in having quality infrastructure cannot be overemphasized. The event climaxed with the inauguration and award presentation to deserving members and partners of the institution. In Oka, it's been Kenechukwu Chukwudi for ABS News.
It was a moment of sober reflection for members of the Economic Community of West African Parliament at an Inter-Parliamentary Union (IPU) Day event tagged Eradication of Child Labour, taking stock and sustaining the commitment of the ECOWAS Parliament. The parliamentarians were charged to go beyond their political gains and think widely on the ways of securing the next generation as they represent the world's future. Our Abuja correspondent Ekwe Ajide has details.
Speaking at the sideline of the ECOWAS Parliament's first ordinary session in Abuja, a child rights advocate and 2014 Nobel Peace Laureate Kailash Satyarthi charged members of the parliament to bring out the champion in them rather than suppressing it so as to become custodians of the next generation. He said millions of children are forced into hard labor and trafficking annually because member states have been unable to take responsibility for the voiceless children, calling for more investment and political will to guarantee a safer generation.
If we eradicate child labor, 160 million children are brought back to their classrooms. That means we are going to create 160 million jobs, additional jobs, perhaps many more jobs. So why don't we invest in that? So my first proposition, invest in our children. That is the only investment for the future.
The Secretary General of IPU, Mr. Martin Chongon, reiterated the union's readiness to supporting ECOWAS in its efforts to combat child labor, saying that addressing child trafficking and labor should be given priority. Earlier, Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, Dr. Sidi Tunis, disclosed that ECOWAS and IPU are collaborating in a partnership that includes preserving and promoting children's rights in order to mitigate all forms of abuse of children in the region. Dr. Tunis, who was represented by the second Deputy Speaker of the Parliament, Bakri Chabo, noted that not all functions performed by children can be described as hard labor, but that since the inauguration of the 5th legislature, concerted efforts by IPU and partners on child labor, children's rights were being strengthened. The sub-Saharan region has in the recent times been facing challenges of child labor and trafficking, terrorism, banditry, kidnapping and poverty, owing to the illegal possession of firearms and light weapons. This, the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF says, accounts for the 200 million out-of-school children. In Abuja, Princess Ekwi Ajide reporting.
3 Palestinian fighters were killed in an overnight Israeli army raid in the occupied West Bank, according to Palestinian sources. In a statement, the Palestinian Health Ministry identified the 3 men killed in the Balata refugee camp in Nablus as Mohammed Abu Zaytun, 32, Fathi Abu Rizq, 30, and Abdullah Abu Hamdan, 30. The Israeli army did not immediately comment when contacted by AFP. The Al-Qasser Amateurs Brigade, the armed wing of Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas Fatah parties, said in a statement that the 3 were among the group's fighters. Witnesses told AFP that Israeli forces raided several houses in the camp overnight in search of people wanted by the army. Gunfire and loud explosions rocked the camp, the witnesses said, adding that a house was demolished. The West Bank has been occupied by Israel since the 1967 Six-Day War. Nearly 3 million Palestinians live there, along with about 490,000 Israelis in settlements considered to be illegal under international law. The latest that come just over a week into a fragile Gaza ceasefire after a 5-day cross-border conflict between Israel and the Islamic Jihad militant group. Now sports. Nigeria Premier Football League MPFL last league match between Rangers International Football Club Enugu and Rivers United Football Port Harcourt has ended 1-1 for both sides. Correspondent Joseph Ewater reports that Rangers led in the clash when Samuel Pan scored in 12 minutes of the first half of the encounter at Awka City Stadium, Anambra State. Energized on return for the second half of the encounter, Ebubedere of Rivers United Football equalized for the visitors on the 50th minute. With the result, Rivers United now top Group B with 35 points from 18 matches and will slug it out with Lobby Stars, Sunshine Stars, Bendel Insurance, Enyimba FC and Remo Stars in the upcoming Super 6. And sadly, the chairman of Anambra State Disability Rights Commission, Barrister Chuks Ezewuzie, has described his late elder brother, Sir Francis Ezewuzie, as a father figure who stood for truth and lived a life worth of emulation. Late Ezewuzie, a native of Obo Village, Ekulobia, in Agota local government area, died at the age of 66 in an auto crash and was a Knight of St. Mulimba. Correspondent Emmanuel Chibata reports.
The burial ceremony of the deceased began with a mass at St. Anthony's Catholic Church, Ekulobia, with Bishop of Ekulobia Diocese, Peter Cardinal Okbaleke, represented by the Chancellor of the Diocese, Reverend Father Lawrence Wankwo, as the officiating minister. Cardinal Okbaleke said the deceased touched lives and motivated people, consoling the family to bear the loss as all must die at appointed time.
Well, let's say from inquiries, I think he lived a very good life, and then he touched people's lives. He was very relational, engaging people, trying to encourage, motivating people in their different walks of life. And our prayer is, just as we also had in the reading today, that Jesus is the resurrection and life, that when at the appointed time for each one of us, we may find that eternal life with God, we may dwell with him in eternal light.
The deceased younger brother, Barrister Ezewuzie, said he missed him so much, revealing that the deceased took care of him and stood as his father when they lost their parents at a very tender age. He described his late brother as a role model and a great man.
This, my brother, was like a father to us. Not just a father, but a role model to the siblings. A great man in the church, a third-degree Knight of St. Mulumba.
The children of the deceased, Mr. Chukwemeka Ezewuzie
and Mrs. Chidinma Ofia said their father was a source of inspiration and described him as a peacemaker and man of truth.
He's a man that everybody loves because of the way he sees the days of this life. His hospitality, he accommodates people. But it's only God who is in heaven that can give me the courage and the zeal to pick up where he stopped.
For the Grand Knight of Ekulobia of the Sub-Council, Sir John Omaliko, Sir Ezewuzie was a faithful member and a strong pillar in church development.
I see him as a man who lives a virtuous life. The advice is that, as I have said earlier, let them toe the path of their father. If they took that path and anchored their faith in God, the sky is the limit for them.
Interment, condolences from friends and families featured at the event. From Ekulobia, Emmanuel Chibata for ABS News.
That's just about it on the news this morning, but before we go, quick reminder that you can follow news and programs on ABS from many parts of the world by liking our Facebook page, Art and our Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube, Art, ABS Television, Orca, and on Instagram, ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And now the main points again. Governor Soludo has restated commitment towards achieving food security. Anambra State government has intensified drive against tax evasion. ECOWAS Parliament has called for promotion of child rights. And we also told you on the foreign scene that Israeli army has killed 3 Palestinian fighters in West Bank. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total general maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the tax ahead. And that's it on the news at 7. Many thanks for joining us. My name is Chidinma Oranwa. Good morning.